You got your other camera ready?
Okay, ready.
Okay, you're gonna do some over-the-shoulder shots this way, and close-ups and all that shit.
Whose shoulder? Her shoulder or our shoulder?
What are you talking about?
You said over-the-shoulder shots,
Over
but
the
you didn't
shoulder
say
shots.
specifically. Over
Do I
her,
have to?
Over her shoulder?
Do I have to?
Yeah.
No, I don't. She knows what I'm talking about.
I mean, she could turn around, look that way, and shoot over her shoulder.
Jeff,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put you out, like the cat. Okay.
Was that really out of line?
It was out of line. Okay, this is JR, the TechSpat OTG. No, that's not right. Is that right? Yeah. Hey, yeah. Hey.
Who are you again?
Yeah, this is JR, the TechSpat OTG. And today, this is Old Guys Talking Shit number 21. We've moved right along, haven't we, Jeff?
I guess so. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about some videos that I found on YouTube that I think ought to be required viewing for anybody that's thinking about coming to the Philippines, either to retire or for an extended visit.
I suspect that the tourism department here in the Philippines might not agree with you.
Probably not. That would probably be it. I found the videos on a channel called Men Without Borders. And I watched the first one and it was great. If you were coming here, that's one you should watch for sure. The second one just reinforced everything that you would see in the first one. And I think that they're really worth talking about. The first one was kind of a history lesson about how Philippines got where it is. Philippines used to be one of the richest countries in Southeast Asia. And in just a few hundred years, it converted to the poorest country in Southeast Asia. And the first video kind of goes into how that happened. You watched it, so what do you think about what they said about the Spanish colonists? And
Well, yeah, it reminds me of something that I heard, this is back before I even came to the Philippines for the first time. And it talked about how the Philippines at one time was called the jewel of Asia.
That's right.
And then, but now it's become the joke. Jewel and joke, kind of with a j sound.
Good. Yeah, it's the worst performing country in Southeast Asia right now. The tourism here is just dropped off to nothing. Thailand gets 30 million people a year, and we get about 6 million here. A lot of reasons, and those are things that were covered in those videos.
I saw one video one time where they were talking about the effect of conditions here in the Philippines and how it affects tourism. And they said basically the number one reason for the drop in tourism was because of the infrastructure or lack thereof.
Yeah.
You come here and you come from a place where you're used to getting internet wherever you go. Here, you can even be in Manila and at times you don't get any internet.
Yeah. Well, let's move that to the back burner for a minute and let's talk about that first video.
Sure.
The Spanish came over here and colonized everything, and basically it was a feudal society during that time. People didn't own land, only the big landowners owned land, and those are the same people that own the land today.
Right.
It's the same ones. And then the next big disaster was later after the Americans got here, and the government of the Philippines decided investment in the Philippines should be the Philippine people doing it. They made it so that an investor that was going to put money or build a factory or something in the Philippines, he had a problem. He's going to only be able to own 40% of that business, and a Filipino has to own 60% of it. And so everybody went somewhere else. Thailand would let you have 100% ownership without any Thai partners, and the Philippines, you had to have that Philippine partner. And it could be a company or it could be an individual, but they were there, and basically because they own 60%, they run it.
Well, I've heard stories about people who have come to the Philippines with the idea of investing here.
Right.
And they've talked to people in government, and the people in government, first thing they say is, well, yeah, but before we talk, how about you give me something first and then we can talk. That's how they do business.
That's not an uncommon thing in other places, but that is definitely a reality here too, I think.
Well, it's too much.
Yeah.
Because once...
Well, plus the ownership situation.
Yes.
It puts a real load on you.
Yeah.
And why would you want to build here when you can go to Thailand or Vietnam and not have that problem?
See, it's a problem that the Spanish started.
Right. That's in that first video.
Yeah.
It tells about that, how they put it together.
And you look at what the government today is trying to pass some legislation, and it keeps getting watered down more and more. Mm-hmm. And
are they still at 60%?
I don't know. I don't know. But the system of government here is still based on families.
Right.
And the government's talked about bringing about legislation to eliminate that, and saying that, you know, if you're president, then your family cannot hold positions like governor or mayor. Only one person in the family can be in an elected position.
Well, they certainly need to do that, because, I mean, you look at the situation with Duterte, and then his wife or something was the vice president. It's a girl.
That's his daughter.
It's his daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right. So, yeah.
Oh, that's who the vice president
is now. Yeah, he's now. They're trying to impeach her and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's just a mess.
Even the president, he's got family who are in the Senate.
Well, one thing that in that first video that they talked about, main thing they talked about was how the country ruined itself with the overseas investments, OF5, you know, and they absolutely killed themselves with it. And the big companies wouldn't come here. They wouldn't come here. They wouldn't. You couldn't get a phone company. You couldn't get a manufacturing company or anybody to build here.
Yeah.
Young people that were going to colleges and universities and becoming doctors and lawyers and engineers and things like that, they couldn't find work here, so they all left. And they're not here. They're in California. They're in Canada. They're in the Mideast.
The ones that do stay here, they do get jobs, but they get paid nothing for them.
Yeah, it's pretty much a dead-end job. That's not a good thing.
Not unless you are part of the family.
Right. The second video kind of goes into the long-term effect of all that was the result of the first video. The first video told how the land was broken up and the families got control of it, got control of the government. And then how when the Americans got here, they started the 60% ownership thing, which of course didn't work out well. And then the next video goes into what's wrong with the Philippines now, why they don't have infrastructure, why people don't come here for tourism, things like that. Well, the minute you get off the airplane at the airport, you're already disgusted with tourism here. I mean, it's immediate. You have the taxi drivers that you have to deal with that, they all see the white face or something, and the skin tax goes on top of everything, and they want to charge you more than they charge a local person, things like that. Even to just get somewhere from the airport is a chore. And then when you go to your destination, your hotel or whatever, your destination is not going to be as nice as it would be if you had gone to Thailand or Vietnam or even Cambodia now. It's not going to be as nice. You go to Malaysia, Indonesia, anywhere, you're going to get better accommodation. Second video really went into the things that irritate me, like the electric never working and the water doesn't work, and You check into a hotel and the power may go off while you're staying in a hotel or eating in a restaurant. I mean, you just never know.
I like how the second one started off with going into Jollibee and asking for chicken, and they said, "Oh, sorry, we're out of stock right now." It's like
out of stock is a phrase that you hear 15 or 20 times a week if you go out.
Well, in Jollibee, chicken is basically their key
it's
item.
Their main thing.
So
they're out of stock.
Dove into it, and they came up with some rationale for why these things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because all the really qualified people are gone.
They're gone. Yeah.
They graduate and they get a job overseas, and away they go.
Right.
I mean, you look at
like cruise lines are all staffed by Philippine people.
Yeah. So basically, the cream of the crop have left, and you get the ones that are left behind, and it creates an atmosphere or an attitude of, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do my job and go home. And if something's broke, well, there's always tomorrow.
Yeah. That's one thing that you notice just when you own a motorbike or you move into a rent house or anything else, that maintenance just isn't done.
Yeah.
Nobody does maintenance. If you've got a leaky roof and you rent a house and the roof is leaking, it's just going to leak. You may have to complain a lot to get your landlord to fix it if they'll ever fix it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they don't understand or they don't care that things like that cause more damage than the original problem. It's just like with a motorcycle or a car or anything else. If you don't do the preventive maintenance on it, it's not going to last as long. It's not going to be as reliable, things like that. And like you said, they just don't care.
That's right.
Yeah. And same when the power goes off or the internet goes off at your house or something, people don't even call in anymore.
No.
They don't call.
Well, it's because that is expected. It's everyday life.
Yeah.
Power goes off, well, hey, it'll come back eventually.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I was like I said, I think these two videos, that anybody that's going to come here as a tourist or coming here with the idea of retiring in the Philippines and finding a young wife and all that kind of stuff, they need to see these videos before they come here. Mm-hmm. Both those two videos lay it out pretty well. They just really do.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for that. I mean, it really isn't, but hey, that's the way it is. Kind of on another topic, did you watch Trump's UFC birthday party?
No.
No? I thought that was pretty amazing.
I'm not into UFC, and I'm not into parties.
No, well, not that kind of party.
Any political
party. Yeah, they really had a party there. I think they said 150,000 people or something like that showed up for it. It was free.
So 150,000 freeloaders.
Yeah, freeloaders. To me, it doesn't make sense that UFC would be something you'd put in front of your White House.
I think that's Trump's favorite sport, though.
It may be. I don't know. He's real buddies with the owner of the UFC, Dana, somebody I think is his name. Yeah, I was pretty much surprised about that whole thing, and I mean they built a pavilion and everything else for the UFC fight, and to me, I mean UFC's kind of it's like wrestling used to be back in the 50s and 60s when it was on TV. That was kind of fake and all that. And that's kind of the caliber of viewing that I think that the UFC is. It's kind of like the old studio wrestling that they used to have.
Well, it's not at all like the studio wrestling you get now. Was it WWE?
WWE, yeah.
That is totally fake.
Well, yeah, it's entertainment. They a long time ago, they pretty much said that wrestling's not a sport.
Yeah.
That it's entertainment.
It shouldn't be called a sport.
No, that it was not a sport. And it was pretty much then classified as entertainment, which it is, but it's kind of, you think about it, it's not exactly the kind of entertainment that you'd want to bring your kids up on, or spend your Sunday afternoon watching. I just don't have any interest in it.
Yeah.
A bunch of big guys in strange clothes, whooping up on each other, and it's not even real. Or some of it is, I guess, but just by accident. They hurt each other and things like that.
Yeah, by accident.
By
would
accident,
be probably.
but I don't think it's intentional.
Yeah. Well, I think UFC probably, like the little that I have seen of it on TV, I think is more realistic than the other wrestling that's on TV.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's more of it's really kind of like the old cage fights that they used to have. Some of those things were really, really nasty. They in a lot of the states and things, they outlawed those. And people would have them in warehouses and things, and then the police would raid them and things like that. I think that's kind of what UFC kind of evolved from that culture, or lack thereof. I'm going to put the name of those two videos up on our site during this talk, and also I'll put it in the description and everything so people can link to it. I think it's important that people see.
Yeah,
those.
they did a lot of historical research, and I was impressed with that.
It was really well done. I'm definitely going to link to it so people can take a look at it.
It would be interesting for people to look at those and then leave a note on your site afterwards about their thoughts. Do they agree with the summation of the evidence that these guys gave? Or
I really I'd like to hear from not only from people that are going to come here, but from people that are already here. The expats and things that are already here. The expat community is shrinking. Since we came back from Vietnam, you and I were both in Vietnam for a long time. When we came back, the number of expats here had really, really gone down.
Yeah, the interesting thing though is that if you're here, living here, it's actually easier living here than it is in a lot of other countries. Like in Thailand or even in Vietnam, they've kind of made it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, the visa situation is a lot tougher.
Yeah.
Vietnam, you can get a 3-month visa, single entry or multi-entry. It's around $75 to $100. But then you've got to go out of the country in 3 months. Here, you can come in. I think you can stay 3 years on just renewing your visas. So it's a lot easier.
I'm hoping by the end of the year, my visa is going to go a lot longer than just that.
They made it real easy for ex-military to get visas here long term, and you can actually buy a long-term visa here. Live here visa, just stay. And I think that I forget what they call it, SSRP or something like that, special retirement visa or something like that.
Or you can do what I'm hoping to do before the end of the year is marry your girl and get a spouse visa.
Yeah, and that's not even as easy as it looks. They make everything hard.
Oh, of course. Nothing's
difficult.
easy.
No.
It's because everybody wants their little extra.
It looks like to me that if anybody's going to come and stay, that they really want to take advantage of that long-term visa, especially the military, because it's kind of a bargain for them. And I think they'd want to look at that. But again, they really need to watch those two videos. I keep harping on that, but those things are really, it really explains a lot, and it explains it in 2 short videos that you really ought to watch. And it explains it pretty thoroughly. And then, if you're really curious, go through YouTube and look around at all of the channels that are done by expats that live here and see how they're getting along with it. Living here is not easy.
Depends. I see some of them where they kind of present more of a negative picture, but I've seen some who they present it as a very positive picture.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a matter of
it goes
viewpoint.
both ways.
Yeah.
A lot of it probably depends on your own attitude and your financial situation and a lot of things like that. If somebody comes here and they've got $900 a month on Social Security, they're not going to have a good life because things here have gotten more expensive.
Right, but if they had $900 a month, what kind of a life would they have back in the States?
They'd be out there on the street in one of those tents.
Yeah, probably join the crowd in Los Angeles.
Yeah, go to Los Angeles and live and enjoy the street side view.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's near the ocean, same as here.
Yeah.
You know, you get the ocean view. Yeah, 900 in the U.S. won't even get you. I mean, it'll get you the street.
Yeah.
Especially in California. Anywhere else, you might be able to rent somebody's garage or something and live in that, but you're definitely not going to do well. And, you know, even people that, just an average worker that is Social Security is like, you know, $1,800, maybe $2,000 a month. It's still, that's not going to give you the real high life here in the Philippines.
No, not at all.
You're not going to be able to drive, you know, a car and all the
No, but it gives you a roof over your head.
Yeah.
And it gives you all the food that you need to eat.
Yeah, and marginal health care and anything you go for here, you know, it's the same old deal. It's kind of like there's a level of incompetence that's just kind of floats over the whole system.
I see. Okay. Yeah. But
I mean, you've been to the doctors here. You know what it's like. A lot of times they just misread things altogether. They give you bad information, and I've had prescriptions and things here that were just not right. Mm-hmm. You know, I run it by my friend that's a doctor in the U.S. and they say, no, that's not it. The level of expertise in medicine all moved. They went to the U.S. or they went to Canada or they went to the Mideast or somewhere. They're not here. Anything to add to this conversation, or are we done?
Nothing that really comes to mind. I'm happy to be here. Between here and Canada, I mean, I have no say over what happens in this country. If I was back in Canada, I guess I could gripe about the politics there, but I'm not there, so I can't.
Yeah, we don't gripe about the politics here. We just watch it.
I do gripe about it, but
I think it's entertainment, not to gripe about.
Well, my family, my Philippine family here, they say, hey, you watch it on TV and you learn about it, then you go see JR and you talk to him about it. Don't talk to us about it because we don't care.
Back to the video, like we were saying. I do think that living here is really pretty good. You know, living with Ray has been nice, and her family's really nice. We live out on a farm. It's really a kind of a lovely place to be with a bunch of cats and goats and ducks and things like that. It's really nice, and you can't complain about the price. I mean, it's a fraction of what it would be to do anything in the U.S. From that standpoint, I think it's great. I have no complaints about that. I really enjoyed living in Vietnam, and I think, I'd hate to say this, but if I had a choice, which I really don't, I probably would have stayed in Vietnam. As far as this being a great alternative, I think it is a great alternative. Right. You know, you can get everything you want. You know, one of the things I was really, I was taken back by one of my friends that came here a long time ago was really interested. We went to the mall together, you know. The malls here are really nice. I mean, they have some beautiful malls here. And then when we went back and stayed, you know, at his little hotel that was near where I was staying and everything, we went out and were just shopping and eating out and stuff like that. And everywhere you'd go, you had to do your business through bars. Everything, I mean this kind of bars, like bars on the windows and things. And I thought that was really unusual. He thought it was unusual too, that anywhere you go here, unless it's a big business, you have to shop through burglar bars everywhere you go. And I'm not sure they have that many burglars. The funny part is, you know, whenever I've hired anybody to do work at the house, except for Rhea's family, which they all come equipped, nobody's ever had tools. They've always borrowed my tools. So I don't know how the burglars work here. They they don't have tools to break in with. So I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
But the burglar bars, everywhere you go, you know, you go buy a Coca-Cola or anything, you buy it through bars on the windows.
Probably not burglars that they're worried about. It's the politicians.
Coming to get their share.
I think the politicians here are probably the biggest criminals.
I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to have my visa pulled or demonetized on YouTube. I think that's it. I really, I think it's an interesting life here, and if you have an open mind about things, and you're not, just in the groove for the Western lifestyle, you can get used to this, and pretty soon you'll be saying, yeah, it'll work, it'll be okay, it'll do. Yeah, no problem.
Yep.
Do it tomorrow. This is JR, the TechSpat OTG, saying thanks for watching Old Guys Talking Shit number 21.
Right.
This is Jeff, my associate, and Rhea's in here somewhere. She's been taking some videos and sneezing a lot. She's got allergies. It's allergy season for her. We're just happy to be here at Hops and Brews. Living in the Philippines isn't so bad, but you definitely need to watch those 2 videos and be prepared if it's your first time here. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
I agree too.